Hello, hello. Good evening. Say hello if you're here, so I know that you are actually here. Hi, guys. So, hello. So today, say hi, say hi. Say hi. Let me move this a little bit. Adriana, you're always the first person to say hi. How are you this evening? Good to see you. So tonight, good evening. Hi, everyone. Hi. So tonight, I really wanted to come. I was thinking about doing this for a while. And since I asked you last week about your opinion on Instagram, whether I should have a conversation with you about my method or whether I should be talking about something else. And most people wanted me to come and talk about my method. And I was super excited about that, I'm going to be honest, because I really wanted to come and talk about my method, because I think it's a great way for you guys to analyze your own learning, in spite of everything else. Just look at yourself and see if you think, from what I'm going to say to you, if you think you're doing the right thing for your learning, okay? And it does not mean that my method is the only method that works. No, it would be crazy to say that. But what I can say to you, and I want to start here, okay, is that my method is a proven scientific fact. So I can start here. I think it's a very fair thing to say, to start here, okay? It's a proven scientific method. Do you know why? And you're going to be like, what? So, because 7.8 billion people have learned a language using this method. Everyone in the world has learned to speak using this method. So if we go from here, no one can say to me, your method doesn't work. Because you, watching me now, you learn to speak using this method. The name of this method, and I only found out there was a name for this like a year ago. Honestly, I've been teaching for 11 years and I had no idea there was a name for this. And I was like, no way. The name for this is the natural approach. So there is a guy in the United States of America who came up with this approach, this method years ago. And it's called the natural approach. And I had no idea about this until about a year ago. So what do? I promote, I like this word, I promote a very real immersion environment, which is what I'm doing right now with you, watching me right now. So I am here with you, having a chat, talking about something real, which is my method, in English. So you are watching me because you want to improve your English. You want to learn more. You want to improve. You're not happy with your English. You want to learn it, to really learn it. And so I am teaching it to you by speaking to you and making you be 100% in contact with this language. And this is not the only thing, because if you think about this as a foundation, as a starting point, so we start here and then everything kind of happens from there. Listen, a very important aspect of my method, and I think, so I've got some students who are taking my course here. Bella is one of my students from the course. Paula is one of my students from the course. I think Anna is here as well. Anna is from the course too. I don't know if there's anyone else. Please tell me, say hello if you're here. And they know this, so they can tell you, they're here now. They can type up and they can tell you this, okay? My method is not simply let's talk in English. Gabby is here too from the course, so it's great. It's not simply let's talk in English, because that would be too simple. It's not. My method, the way I see my method is, and that's why I say my method is my method. There are no schools doing what I do. There are no other teachers doing what I do. And I can say that for a fact because my method is about my journey learning English. So all the feelings involved in my journey, everything that I experienced, the way I learned English from nothing, from zero, living in England, in Norwich, as a teenager, with bullying, with lots of shit going on, is what essentially has enabled me, has made it possible for me to be here now and say to you, I teach through reality, through feelings, through emotion. And I think when we get those things together, it means that you're learning English through life. And this is something we all have in common. We're all human beings, and we all have feelings, and we have problems, and we have a life happening to us. So this is my method. It is a very natural approach to learning. So I will not, and I refuse to do a lesson plan with, today I'm going to teach present perfect. Let's go. Present perfect. I'm not going to do that because it feels extremely unnatural to me. Unnatural is the opposite of natural. So, and this is what I believe, and I will always say this because I believe this is the best way to learn any language. A few days ago, I received a message from one of my followers. Say hi if you're here, maybe you're watching, telling me that he found a great way to learn Japanese. He's Brazilian, so he learned English basically watching a lot of his English, watching me from YouTube and other things that he was doing. So English in English, and now he's learning Japanese in Japanese. I was like, what? That must be hard. He's like, yeah, but there are so many things that are similar to English. So he's really excited, and it's working because it works. This is a fact, So, okay, so what I want to say, I'm gonna talk to you guys in just a minute, okay? Because I really, really want to talk to you about all my points today, because I think it's so important that you understand, okay? So this is it. Yes, I'm gonna tell you a little something that happened to me back in 2008 when I became a teacher. And it's a very interesting point because I get this question a lot. A lot of people ask me, did you ever work for a school, a language school? And I always say, no. And they say, would you like to work for a school? And I'm like, never. And I will always say this, never, for many reasons. I'll give you some reasons today, okay? So back in 2008, that's when I started teaching. That's when I started to give private lessons. My first lesson was in November 2008. And in December that year, I came to Brazil for holiday for like 2 months. It was a very long holiday because I'd lost my job and I wanted to be here for a while, not as a teacher. I lost my last job before I became a teacher. And so I wanted to come home and just spend Christmas and New Year's and spend a couple of months here, see what happens, maybe stay. I was a bit lost at that time at 21, 21 years old, good times. So I came back and I went to, Raquel, you're here too, yay. A lot of people from 100 Days, I like it a lot. So I came back and I was in São Paulo, that's where I'm from. And I was staying at my grandma's house during that time. And I thought, actually, I'm running out of money. I don't have a lot of money and I want to be able to stay for the full 2 months, yeah? So I went to a very close English school to my grandma's house. apartment. I went there and I said, like, I'm a teacher. I just started teaching in London and I'm here for a few months. And I was wondering if I could maybe work here. And I did a grammar test where I scored 100%, a very long test actually, where I scored 100%, a job interview in English. At the end of, and then listen to this, right? During the job interview, she goes to me, the owner of that particular branch, because this is a big school, there are branches everywhere. And she said, I have to say, I've never seen somebody score 100% in this test. And I was like, wow, thank you. I'm like super happy. And she goes, we would love to have you work for us. That would be amazing. I'm like, wow, okay, that's great. That's wonderful. And she goes, so what we pay, get ready for this. She goes, we pay 12 reals per hour. 12 reals per hour. 12 reals per hour. And I'm looking at her. I remember I was 21, like I was really young. I remember looking at her and being like, and like things going through my head. The first thing that I thought was, the cheek, honestly. You've never seen someone score 100%. You have not stopped telling me how amazing my English is, and you want to pay me 12 reals per hour? Are you kidding me now? Like, really, I was offended by this. I thought it was a disgrace. I just thought it was a complete disgrace. I just couldn't understand. And I was so young, guys. I had no children. I was just, I could work for that amount of money, but there was no way I would, because I respect my journey, because I respect my English, and I know that my English is amazing. So no way. Basically, I said, thank you, but no thank you. And I left and I came back to London, when I was supposed to come back. So I really just stayed 2 months for my holiday and came back home. This is one of the reasons why I haven't ever, and I will not work for a school. It's because they pay shit money. And I think they don't, the reason why they pay so bad is because a lot of, and this is true, a lot of teachers who work for schools, not all teachers, not everybody, but a lot of teachers who work for schools don't actually speak fluent English. So they pay little money because it's the best they can get. But I am not this person. I speak fluent English. No way. Number one, I'm going to give you something else as an example of something that happened not long ago. Today is Monday. It was probably on Saturday. I was watching this new series on Apple TV called Trying. It's a British series, so if you don't know what to watch, that's a good one. I'm going to read that in a minute, guys, because I can't talk and read at the same time. I get distracted. So I was watching Trying, and it's a British hope story, okay? So it's set in London, and the main character, the male lead, so that means the man playing the most important part, because there is a male lead, so a man, and a female lead, so a woman, yeah? So the male lead, the man, is, in the plot, in the story, an English teacher in London, and he works for a traditional school in London, in language school, English as a second language teacher, like I am, an English teacher, yeah? He's a native speaker in the story. And there was this scene where he's in the classroom and he's at the front and there is a white board behind him, like every school. It's called Trying, guys, this one. Trying. It's really cool. It's only one season. It's very mild, like very, but really nice. And so he's standing at the front. There is a whiteboard behind him, and he's really just like, shit, what is this life? You know, like I have to teach these students like from a book, and students are not learning, no one's happy, no one's motivated. He's just like, I hate life, you know, standing there. And he's trying to teach, and the students are just asking for more things. The students clearly want to learn real English because they live in London and they go to the school and they learn nothing, because they get out, they go to work, and they still cannot see an improvement. Like the English does not change. And so he starts to try and teach in a different way, like not using the textbook. You know, the textbook is the book, the grammar book that you guys love. Yeah. So he goes to see the principal. I think it's his boss, like the manager. She asks him to come for a chat, and he goes there to talk to her. And she tells him, I'm not even joking, she tells him, listen, stick to the textbook. Stick to the book. Do not try to teach different things. Just stick to the book, man. That's the end, period. And he's like, okay. Another reason why I would never work for a school, because there's no way I'm going to stick to the book. I'm not the person who sticks to the book. To stick to something means you have the book, do what's here, like present perfect, these little exercises, nothing else, just here. Stick to this. There's no way. There is no way I would stick to the book. Honestly, just no way at all, ever. Because I think this is crazy. I think it's completely unnatural, mechanical, boring. And no, it's not like to be focused. When you stick to the book, it means do what is in the book. Don't try to teach different things. No, just teach what is in the book. The grammar exercises in the book. Nothing else. Nothing else. Just what's here. There's no way. I'm not the person who sticks to the book, man. I'm the person who says, this book is shit. All right, guys, listen up. Let's talk about life, shall we? So that you can get out of here and actually get a good job. This is what I do. So this is one thing, okay? Now listen. He goes there, he talks to her, and then he goes back to the classroom the next day or something. And the students, there are some swear words, like some bad words in the book, not literally, this is going to be confusing for you guys, not literally in the book, but some other students wrote some bad words in the book. And so the students start asking, what is knobhead? What is wanker? What is tosser? All these words are bad words in English, okay? And the teacher's like, and then he goes, do you know what? All right, then. Give me all the words you can see in the book that somebody else has written. And he goes to the board and he starts teaching the bad words to the students, which my 100 days students are here. They can say, do I teach you bad words? Somebody who's taking 100 days, just answer. Do I teach you bad words when you take 100 days? Do we talk about swear words? Do we talk about bad words? Let me see if somebody's going to answer. If someone is still here. I'm going to ask again. Do I teach you? Yeah. Of course I do. Obviously. It's life. You have to know bad words. You might not want to use bad words. Okay. But you have to understand bad words, because if somebody looks at you and goes, you're a fucking wanker, you have to understand that to defend yourself. Come on. So when I saw that, I was like, that's it. That is me. That is exactly what I do. I teach what I think is important for life. And the reason why I know what to teach you is because I lived through this in English. So I know what you need to know to be able to have a good life in English, basically, okay? There was another point I wanted to make. No, maybe there isn't. I think that's all I wanted to say. So, do you have questions? Let me see what you guys have been saying. Oh, how I call what I've done to my hair? Well, this, put my hair to the side. Put my head to the side. So let me see. When I'm starting new lessons, well, a new group of students for 100 days is in July. That is a good question. Why can I understand but I can't speak? This it's a great question for today, actually. And you should not, all of you here, please stop thinking about your speaking. The reason why you don't speak well is because you don't understand as much as you think. Period. Because when you actually start to understand word by word of what people are saying, you will speak better. Because speaking, simple sentence, write it down, stick it on your forehead. Speaking is a consequence of comprehension. You do not speak well if you don't understand well. Simple as. And this is also a part of this natural approach method that I was talking about. Is exactly what I always say about children. Children do not start speaking really well at the age of 2. They don't. They basically just start to understand a word or two of what you're saying, and then they understand sentences, and then they say sentences, but they are all wrong, which is what you do when you're learning a language. You start saying sentences that are wrong, and that's okay. And then the more you are in contact with English, immersed, really, like tonight, the better your speaking is. And this is time. This does not happen in 100 days. This does not happen in 2 years. This takes a long, long time. 100 days does not promise fluency by the end of the course. This is not what we're doing, okay? And please understand that. Yes, Andre, that is such a great point. Nobody quotes a poem when something goes wrong. We just say a very bad word. That's what we do. We need bad words. Come on. The in-betweeners is great for learning bad words. My God, the in-betweeners is so filthy. Not even joking. Okay, what about the students who want to take tests, such as the Cambridge exams? I think the only reason for you to take a Cambridge exam or any other test is if you need it. You need it for university. You need it for a visa. Take it, of course. You don't need it. You just want to take it for fun. It's expensive, but if you've got the money, go for it. Claudia, so your methodology is something like a deep immersion. My methodology is this, what you're seeing right now, is me putting you directly into contact with English through real life. This is it. How do I sign up for your course? Aline, I did get your email and your message on Instagram. I will reply to you, I promise. But I remember, so I'm going to answer to you now. The new group of students for 100 days is in July, so you can sign up then. Hopefully, it's going to be an amazing experience for you. Okay, I hope so. Let's see. I think that's it, my darlings. Well, thank you so much. It's been amazing for me to come and talk to you about what I love doing the most and what I believe, and being brutally honest with you as always, because there is no way in hell I am going to be, working for a school where I have to just say what they tell me to say. No, I tell you what I think is true. Thank you. It's been lovely. We're going to see each other again next Monday for another live. I will probably be talking about giving opinions in English, because this is the other thing you guys wanted me to talk about. So I think that's going to be really cool. Thank you. And remember, there is no miracle formula that you do. It's really time and it's really immersion. The more you are in contact with real English, the more you're going to learn. So accept the process. Thank you to all my students who have come to this session tonight. You guys have seen me for 70 days on the videos that you watch in the course, sending me messages, and you're still here. Really. Thank you. Tiago, there is a great video on my channel about job interviews. You should watch it. It's on my channel on YouTube about job interviews. It's helped a lot of people. I hope it helps you too. Thanks, lovelies. I'll see you next week. Take care of yourself. Have a lovely evening. Beijos. Bye-bye.